Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about Quarkus. Quarkus is a Java library where you can actually build things in a very reactive way. So if you have worked with some, for instance, JavaScript library, perhaps you might have a server that will be renewed as you do changes to it. You can work with updates in a very quick and interesting manner. And also if you have worked with, for instance, Flutter development, you also have the same feedback loop. And Quarkus does this for Java APIs or Java code in the backend. So this is going to be interesting. What you see before you here is actually something that I built for a video for a very long time ago. This video was about how to set up Swagger and used Swagger with Polymer and how to just bootstrap your own backend server. But in this little example, we are going to reuse the front end here. And we're going to figure out how the backend will look. And if I do some changes here, for instance, if I reload this, we should see the nodes still. And we see here that we actually have HTTP request problems. So let's look at the server. I believe that we had something here. The same IP that we have here. So why isn't it working? Yeah, it might be because the client should be on that address. Yeah, and now I put the client on that address. That might be it. So let's restart our server here and see if that works. If we get the course issue resolved. So we have already found our first issue here. So let's see. Okay. Profit. So let's see here. All of these get sent and we get errors on all of these. Well, I have a different service here. It's actually a greeting service, and what I was thinking was that I should use this new greeting service built in Quarkus. I will change up what the client uses and I will remove this server instance here. So we can see that this service instance actually crashed. So that's interesting. So let's remove that server. It was not that good. So we go back to 8080. And I already have a Quarkus service running. But it only have this greeting path here. So I believe that we can change this to nodes. So we have a different path. And if we go back here and say nodes, it answers on nodes as well. If we go here, we will get nodes back, but it actually is looking for something else. So this thing here wants a response on options. So let's try something out here. So we see that we get hello. Now I want to build some objects. So let's go here into the server and try to figure out what kind of a database we have here. We have an ID and a text per instance. So it's actually just a text. So that's a very simple little note Java file. So I wonder if I should actually... I will start IntelliJ. I think that will help us out. Yeah, so now I have started my instance of IntelliJ, And what I see here is that we actually have this old structure here with acme config, and this comes from the actual library or this bootstrapping config. So I wonder if I actually change the package, will that break things? So if we move our file over to its totally new package here, will it still find this file and be able to run this hello endpoint? It can. That's pretty amazing, if I might say so myself. So let's test hello world and exclamation mark. Will that still work? This is crazy. So I want to add a new object here, and I will actually steal a bit of code from their little repository here with examples, and they actually created a new. We are not seeing the code, sorry. So what we see here when I copy this code, the only thing we have is actually a class, and this class has a text, and it has just a very simple constructor here, and then we have our constructor with the text. We have getters and setters, equals, and hash code. So it's a very simple class. It's just some kind of data class, and it doesn't have anything that is special about it. And that's interesting. So let's go into our little greeting resource here. And I think I will change that to be rest. We can see here if I can refactor, rename rest endpoint. Okay. We don't want unselect all. Okay. So now we have changed this to rest endpoint. And then we will add some things here. First off, we will add a few things up here. Those things we might need to use. We want to add this endpoint here called notes. And then we will add a lot of code down here. We will start with the getter. So let's see here. Bonk. And so this is the code we have copied in here. We have notes. It will create a set from a map here. Not sure. No. Notes is what I want to create there. Notes. And then we use notes, notes, notes. Rest endpoint. Use note down here. And we will return notes. So what's about up here? So let's see if we can import this class here, and that solves that problem. So let's see here. We will have this build some stuff. We will have learn some stuff. And lastly, we will have a note that says profit. So now we have created this endpoint. Let's see here what this will. Okay. Body right, the response object of type collection set map of media type application. Could not find the message body writer. Okay. So let's go back to IntelliJ. And let's see in our POM file. Yeah, we are missing one dependency, I believe. We should have that dependency as well. I wonder if we can put dependencies into the project on the fly. That might require a restart, and that's not crazy. I believe that if you add a dependency, you need to restart the server, right? Dependency management, dependencies. Okay, but down here we have rest easy. So there we should have rest easy JSON B. Could that solve our problem? So let's see if still seems that we need to restart this. Let's see if we can do that. And we will download a lot of new things here. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. And before we had some funky IDs here. So I guess that we need actually to have some IDs as well. So let's get back here to our notes. And I think we will add this ID here. I didn't know if we actually got auto-generated ID, but it seems that we didn't get one, but that's fine. Then we can actually change these so they will look at the ID instead. We will create some getters and setters like that. We will fix that, and here we need to add, so this will be ID1. Then we have ID1, ID1, 2, 3. So let's see here. If we go back, then we will have IDs on those. I wonder if I open this up, it loads JSON and it gets notes. Okay. Just handle option request. So if we go in here again, we have get. We could have options, public, void, options. String and return get post delete. See if that's what they are looking for. See if that will help. Notes. Oh, now that's interesting. They are still working on the course filter, so it's not done yet. So Quarkus is still under heavy development, and they are still working on getting this course filter to work. And as this little application requires course to work, I don't believe that we actually can get it to work today. But that's something that you can learn from as well, that we weren't able to actually get it to work. But I think that we can see if we can install, have Postman here. So I believe, what the beep is this? I believe that this can send a basic request. Let's see here. This can send posts. So if we post to localhost 8080/notes, and those. And we add ID. And this ID should be 4, for instance. And we have text. That text should be, we added some text. And then we can go back into IntelliJ here and go back to the, so if we add the post here, so this will post a note. Let's see if we can actually do this. If it just works. That would be fun. So I posted something. And the body I got back was empty. Unsupported media type. And if we do raw, and then we copy some text here, so we copy a JSON object like that, and we say that we will have 4, and we say that added some text. We send that. We still get unsupported media type JSON. There we go, and we got added some text. So if we go back here, we see that we added some text. Interesting. So the thing we have left is to copy, paste, delete. So if we go in here, we have a delete again. It's still some kind of fruit. No, it's not. I'm just joking. It's a note that we want to remove. Like that. So now we have the delete function as well. So we go back here. We will change this up here to delete. And we can keep that. No, we will actually copy paste the first one here so we can see that we delete something else. So let's try it. Send. And we got another list. But the interesting part here is that we lost the thing that we added. And I think that's because we added some code. It actually reloaded the whole server, and when it reloaded the server, it also reloaded and added this endpoint. So we got the endpoint loaded again. If we had a database that we saved all this data in, we would have another thing entirely. So let's add ID 4. Awesome. We did it. We send that on. We will actually have, what did we get now? No, we still sent delete. So it didn't find that one. But if we send a post, we will actually add that. I'm not sure if you see this text here. We can do it like that. So it's a little bit more visible. So awesome, we learned some stuff. We sent some stuff and so on. There we can mark. Looked in the wrong window. And I have this interesting glowing effect on my t-shirt today because I chose to have a green t-shirt on a green screen. And that's not a good idea. We learn a lot today. I hope that you found this video interesting. I'm sad that I couldn't connect the Notes client with the actual working backend server, but that was mostly because the course things were not handled by Quarkus yet. But Quarkus is very new. It's very much still in development, and they have a lot of different tutorials on their website with everything from injecting different services to working with a lot of different outputs and inputs and so on. So I think this is a very interesting project, and I will keep an eye on it and perhaps do another tutorial in the future how to work with Quarkus when it actually has even more functionality built into it. I hope that you found this video interesting. I hope that you learned something today. Maybe you will try out Quarkus after this video. And if you liked this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. If you have any comments whatsoever about Quarkus, or if you have any questions and so on, leave them in the comment section down below. And I really hope to see you in the next video.